Welcome back to Everything Whiskey. I'm Callum.
I'm Sam.
And today we're having the Smokehead High Voltage.
Alrighty, so Smokehead High Voltage, we've done the... Do we even remember what it was called? It's just their yeah, I think they're just like
their
baseline. Their baseline run of that, and we tasted it and it was okay.
Nice for a budget.
It was fine, yeah, it was fine. It was interesting, but it wasn't like, it was tasted a bit too young for us to really enjoy too much.
Disrespect.
Now this one's still not age statement, and from what I've read, it's said that this is going to be from one of the holy trinities of the Islay distillery. It's from either, there's Ardbeg, Lagavulin or Laphroaig. Then, they don't know exactly where it's coming from, but it's said to come from one or some of those, depending on their release, because these are single malts, but I think that they still pick and choose.
Yeah.
It's not always coming from the same distillery if it's for a different type of bottling. So this high voltage is basically their cask strength. It doesn't say cask strength, but it's 58%.
Mm-hmm.
And also left out, it's from one of those Holy Trinity distilleries, except it's well known that they do add E150, which, I mean, Jesus, I'm not surprised. It looks like...
I mean, the bottle, to be fair, the bottle is slightly tinted. It's like the Johnny Blue kind of bottle.
It's still, though, that looks like a... It still looks like a,
Yeah, it's dark, but...
We've got a floater. Yeah, no, it looks like a Texas whiskey or something. But I'm excited to get into it because cask strength peat, no matter where it comes from, is still going to be like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Even if it's like not super nice, it's still going to be super interesting. It's just like a lot.
Mm. You know what I get instantly? Vegemite.
Vegemite. You've been getting that note a lot lately. I'm getting
it's like a yeasty.
I'm getting Port Charlotte 10.
Yeah, it's got that sweetness that Port Charlotte has.
Mm. Definitely brine. It's got more brine than like an Ardbeg, I'd say. This has got like, how Laphroaig has more of that like soft brine,
yeah.
Whereas Ardbeg got that sharper, saltier, but more barbecue brine. Like the peat in this is like especially briny on the nose. Doesn't smell bad. I'm getting caramel. Ooh.
It's very sweet.
I got some cheese. I got some blue cheese.
Yeah?
You know how we get with like Octomore and stuff, a little bit? There's a little bit of cheddariness, a little bit of blue cheese, yeah.
Yeah, cheese, salt water, brine.
Burnt.
It's like the classic Islander.
Caramel, you've like taken a bit too far, it's a bit burnt. It's gonna be a little bit bitter or something. A bit of vegetation.
Creme brulee.
Yeah, there's some,
Like
that salty, vanilla, sweet. Yeah.
I like the nose on this, to be honest.
It smells nice.
It's got some fruitiness as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
a
it's
slight
got,
touch of it.
I reckon apricots and stuff. But again, with like sea salt and
salted
and some burnt brown sugar on it. It's definitely earthiness for me. I'm getting like some vegetation stuff, like unburnt peat, like that, just vegetation.
Yeah, like compost almost.
Yeah, kind of.
Almost. Yeah. It's a bad note.
I'll cop it on cheers. Bad note.
It was like a...
It's a lot sharper than I expected. It's not as sweet, and
that brine is so... like punches with the alcohol.
With the peat. But I also I was getting a lot of nice low notes in the nose. This is a bit, most of it is sitting pretty high. I think it needs a bit more low notes. Maybe if it was a bit older or something, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it's the proof though, who knows.
It's distinctively explosive. Well, I mean,
it's sharp as hell. That's something I'll say. It's super sharp, like not just the alcohol content, but like it tastes like fresh and like bright and punchy. Like it's not like high proof Islay, like the notes itself are like it doesn't have the Lagavulin low notes and bassiness and stuff to counteract like something with like the nose had some softness to it.
Yeah.
The taste, it's like all just like ripped the scale.
Saying that, have another sip. I'm getting some dark fruits, almost like a sherry cask finish. Past the peat. The bit of like Do you get like a bit of a glendronic kind of essence?
There is something sitting there, like the sweet fruitiness, but the dominating factor is that just like, yeah, it's for me it's like a gunshot. Like it's just this Richter scale spike every time you take a sip. And it kind of like, it starts with the nice low notes, but then it just hits the roof and then it comes back right down again and then it's kind of gone.
Yeah, this is, if you want an adventure, this is one of the whiskeys.
If you just want something like kick you around.
It's like, it's not as bad as Stag, but it's along those kinds of lines. Where it's just...
Well, it depends. I reckon this would be as bad as Stag. Bad being like challenging
aggressive.
and like aggressive and kick you around. Not bad as in quality or taste bad. I reckon this would go hand in hand with Stag depending on what your problem is. You know, like if people like peat is, I'm not good with peat, then this is probably going to be harder than Stag. Whereas with Stag, it's like if wood bitterness on new oak barrels is their problem, then that's probably worse than peat. So it just depends.
I just got a really fake vanilla note out of that on the taste.
There's a weird chemicaliness I'm getting.
Yeah.
And have been from the start. It wasn't on the nose, but taste. There's like, you know when we made like just that moonshine, it was just had this weird like artificial sugar kind of like ethanol to it.
Yeah.
It was just something there. I don't dislike this, but it's still definitely not my favorite either or anything.
No. But I mean, it's only $100.
I do like
what do you think about it?
For a cask strength Isla for $100 in Australia, that is impressive.
We're paying like $100 for a normal Ardbeg here, so it's like...
well, what's Lafroy 10's like 90?
Ardbeg 10's like not only 100. Octomore is probably only cast.
The highest, yeah, so 59.5, 59.8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what, they're 200 plus. So it's double the price of Octomore. And we're getting... We did pull that blue cheese note, which I've only ever found in Octomore.
Me too, yeah, definitely.
Which, I mean, it's got something going for it.
It's interesting as hell. It's just like got some things that make it like also a little bit not like pleasurable. So like with the Octomore, it's like holy crap, like these are dangerous, like harsh notes, but they're also like
it's rounded.
They're so like they're so developed and they're still like very clearly these like kind of natural things you're picking up. Whereas this has got some weird kind of like diversions all of a sudden out the side and these weird kind of chemically notes that kind of jump in without noticing, and then some weird things, whereas like the Octomore, it was just like an explosion of flavor, but it all seemed to make sense. Even if it was still too much, it still made sense. This isn't as cohesive. It's got a lot of cool notes and then a few notes that just I'm not a fan of,
like outliers.
Yeah, it's got some outliers. It's not as I don't know.
Tastes like they shouldn't be
as comprehensive
as well.
Like water. That's definitely one of the few ones that could do with some water. Like I know we like cask strength, but
I reckon this might make it just more sharp.
Maybe
more bright.
Well, the first sip probably. I'm putting 4 drops in.
It's mainly water.
Or drops, like nothing. I'm trying to think.
Flowers. It's like floral peat.
I'm getting more of that home distilled weird fake sugary.
Weird ethanol.
Yeah, it's like this sugar. It's like this sugar ethanol note that you get when you do a sugar wash and distill it.
I'm getting that, but with a lot more floral.
I've lost the brine, like the Lafroy brine on the nose. For me, it's a lot sweeter.
Oh, that didn't bite nearly as much as I expected. That didn't.
It's the same notes, except it just doesn't reach this peak the same. It like kind of just hits the roof a bit halfway instead of
it's just like a little. I reckon it's like a little mound. Instead of like Everest, it's a little mound.
Yeah. The spike just isn't as high. It doesn't hit you as hard. It's like the same notes for me though.
I get more nuts and earth, rather than brine and peat with a bit of water. I actually prefer it with water, to be honest. Because notes are there, and it introduces some more earthiness for me.
For me, there's a bit more ethanol-y weirdness going on. I think I prefer it without the water, but we've just tried it once with 4 drops. Like you should start with 1 and then go till, it's like at 40%. That's probably still at like,
56,
55%, yeah. I would really like to know everyone else's opinion on this, because it is, I reckon, going to be a polarizing one just because, like, just by the nature of what it is and trying to be as well, it's trying to be a kick in the head. It's trying to break your nose. Like, so I want to see what kind of experiences people have had it. Obviously, mostly from people who enjoy Isla, because it's, you know, it's kind of off on a back foot if you don't like a peat at all anyway. But if you like Isla, you've had this, and you've had the original Smokehead, any of it, or if you've had one of these, all of these and one that we haven't, because they are the only two we've had, and that one that we haven't stands out as really, really good, let us know so we can try that. Because I reckon this is super interesting. I like it, but I want something that like tastes older. Like I want to try an actual age statement, like 18-year-old or something like that. You know, I feel like it could be good. I don't know.
But how much would it cost? Because they've got to source it. They've got to.
Yeah. Don't know.
It'd probably then be like an optimal price.
Alrighty, so I think we're going to call it there. Let us know what you think of the Smokehead High Voltage if you've had it. Otherwise, we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave us a like and see future episodes from us. Maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. If you do, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.